Hey guys, happy Halloween, it's Bellamy here from Midnight Suns and welcome to my special review of Agatha All Along. So yes, Disney is back with another show about witches, except this time it's actually good. But don't get me wrong, I like parts of The Acolyte. I think that show started off strong and then it went off the rails, but this show, Agatha All Along, I think is pretty solid all the way through. So, the story of this show is basically at the end of WandaVision. If you watch that, you must watch that first before you watch this. At the end of WandaVision, if you remember, Agatha lost all her powers. And so in this show, Agatha All Along, Agatha has to assemble a coven of witches so that they can walk down the Witches' Road together. And the Witches' Road, in a nutshell, is this magical road that when you reach the end of it, you get a prize, whatever you wish for. And so Agatha is walking down this road in search of getting her powers back. And let me tell you, the writing in this show is fantastic. So like I said earlier, Agatha is joined by this coven of witches that she assembles in the show. And I'm not going to spoil who they are, I'm not going to tell you their identities because some of them are actually pretty significant characters who are making their first appearances. And yeah, the story of this show and the characters that are introduced in this show have huge implications on the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, especially the mystical side of it, like the Doctor Strange, Scarlet Witch side of things. And yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'm not gonna spoil anymore because I think you should really watch this show and really experience a pretty good story about magic. And I found the comedy in this show to be pretty funny. Like, it's definitely one of the funnier Marvel Cinematic Universe TV shows. So Agatha, she's a witch, but she hates witches and she hates witchcraft. So if you remember in WandaVision when they show you her backstory, like she was basically betrayed by her own coven. And so for the past few hundred years that she's been alive, she's hated witches the whole time. And so in this show, you really get to see her belittle other witches and make fun of witchcraft as a whole, so it's pretty funny. Like, she's a character who actually calls out how ridiculous witchcraft sometimes feels like fortune telling and riding on broomsticks. Like, she actually calls out how silly some of these things are, even though they actually do it in the show. So yeah, I just find it pretty funny to have this character who's like one of the strongest witches on Earth, and she hates witchcraft. It's pretty ironic, and Catherine Hahn, she totally owns this character, and yeah, she's definitely the best part of this show. And speaking of the writing, I actually think this show has some of the best plot twists in any MCU show ever. Like, there are plot twists happening throughout the show, right? But especially the big plot twist at the end. Like, the ending is on the level of Loki Season 1's ending when they revealed He Who Remains. Like, it's really that shocking. And yeah, it is this crazy Usual Suspects Kaiser Soze level plot twist that the fans of the show are really gonna love. And the music in this show I actually think was pretty good. They have a song about witches that they play basically throughout the entire season. And it is way better than the Force Witch song that was in The Acolyte. Like, I'm not gonna spoil too much, but this song called The Witches' Road, yeah, it plays a very huge important role in the story. And at the end of the show, when you find out the significance of the song and how the song was even created, like, that was such an insane thing. And I'm not gonna say any more than that because I really don't want to spoil anything. And yeah, overall, I'm giving Agatha All Along an 8 out of 10. I think it is better than WandaVision. Like, surprisingly, I really think it's better than that show. Like, if you think about it, this is a show that is a sequel to a show about the Scarlet Witch without the Scarlet Witch being in it, even though she does play a pretty important role in the story, but she's not actually in the show. And yet, it somehow surpasses the original show, in my opinion. I can't remember the last time a TV show made a sequel to a popular show without the main character being involved. And yet, the sequel is somehow even better than the original. And yeah, I think they accomplished it in Agatha All Along, and let me just say I'm very surprised because I had very low expectations for this show after The Acolyte. And to be honest, a lot of the MCU TV shows haven't been that good. So this show is really a nice surprise. I know before this show came out, a lot of people were saying who even asked for this show, but now after watching the whole show, I actually think it is a good thing that this show was made. And yeah, if you are an MCU fan, you must watch this show because the ending really has huge implications for the future of the MCU. And I'm very excited to see how the mystical side of things shapes up in the MCU. And with that being said, we've come to the end of this review. If you haven't subscribed already, please do consider subscribing to keep up to date with all our movie and TV reviews here on the Midnight Suns channel. Thanks again for watching, and as always, stay gold and never fade. Bye guys.